What I say, keep your head higher, you bound to catch an uppercut. This world is often gonna put you in situations and often gonna leave you wondering and thinking, like, where do I go from here? And when you do pick yourself up and you do get to that point to where you just about to make that breakthrough, it's like the world is always pulling you back and always reminding you of who you used to be. And they never let you really experience growth outside of your own personal temple. So that's why you gotta find a set of rules, a set of values, a governance, a philosophy to live by, a philosophy to raise your family on, a philosophy to teach the children on, you know? Because we live in a crazy world. It's a cold, cold world. And it's always something that's gonna distract you, that's gonna try to pull you away when you're trying to experience happiness or when you're just trying to be yourself. It's always gonna be those people, those situations, those environments that are not gonna be beneficial to your growth in that area. So what you wanna do, you gotta, for one thing, you gotta understand that you're gonna make mistakes. You're never gonna go 100% from the field. I be seeing on Twitter, they be showing Sean Livingston went 1,300 for 1,300 from the field, from the mid-range in his NBA career. When I see it, I scroll past. It's impossible. You're gonna miss shots, but the best thing that you can do when you missing shots is to keep taking them. And I feel like a lot of the times we'll start to miss shots. We'll get cold in life and we asking the coach to pull us out. We tucking our jersey instead of locking in and understanding that at this point, this is the point. This is the fourth quarter. This is the time to, if you get it going now, you win. And I feel like a lot of us stop short right when it's our opportunity to really make that change we want to make. Right at the point to where business gets tough. Right at the point to where school gets tough. We choose to turn back when it would have been much easier to just keep going full speed ahead. So that's what this whole talk is gonna be about today. So I'm gonna make this short. I wrote down 5 tips that you want to live your life by. All right, we're gonna get on with it. Tip number 1: you gotta find your community. You gotta find like-minded people like yourself and people that are progressive, that's trying to move forward and trying to push you forward. Good people. You gotta get in the room with good people. They say that you're the average of the 5 people that you talk to every day. You gotta make those 5 people strong individuals and also seek mentorship. Find some people that's older than you that might have more wisdom than you. I think in this society we don't have any rules set. So we think we know it all, we know best. And nobody can tell us nothing. That's why our parents can't tell us nothing. Our community can't tell us nothing. We don't agree with anything. But you gotta find those people that you can listen to. You got to. And you gotta find your tribe. You gotta find that group of guys that do what you do. That group of photographers, that group of musicians, producers, that group of athletes, the people that like to go to the gym. You gotta find that group and you gotta cultivate that group. You gotta find the community. Community is everything. From that point, you can build yourself back up. Tip number 2: you gotta be able to control your emotions. I think we get too sensitive sometimes, and then there's other times where we're not sensitive enough, where we're not honest with ourselves, so we don't allow the feelings to play out, you know. Especially as men, sometimes we think we gotta be tough and hard all the time. We gotta let it roll off our back and keep going. Sometimes you gotta take a break, you know. Sometimes you gotta pause yourself and remind yourself who you are, because sometimes you get knocked off the horse. Of course you want to get back on, but catch your breath, you know what I'm saying? Catch your breath, catch a feeling, catch a vibe, chill, you know, think, meditate, pray about it. You feel me? So, gotta control your emotions. And then there's times as well where we let people knock us off our horse, and like as I stated earlier, we don't get back on, and it's because we sensitive. It's like when I played basketball, like certain coaches got different philosophies. Certain coaches gonna coach you in a way where it might be tough coaching. They might criticize what you're doing out there. You might make a mistake, they might criticize you. But if you're able to control your emotions, you're able to have that next play mentality to where no matter what I did last play, next play, I'm gonna do better. I'm gonna figure it out. And when you keep pushing yourself in that direction, you never get too high and you never get too low. You stay right in that frequency range, right in that compressor, right in that threshold. I think that's when you able to really make significant change in your life. So let me check the list out. I got it written down right here. Let's go to number 3. Okay. In times when you don't know what to do, when you are blocked, when your writer's block or whatever, do something. You have to. You gotta. Let's say you don't know your purpose, or you just don't know what the next step is on your journey. Just do something. Don't stay stagnant. Don't sit around. You gotta read something. You have to go work out. Don't ever sit around. They say an idle mind is the devil's playground. You gotta find something to do. Do something, but don't sit around and do nothing. Most of the times, life is all about breaking through layers of purpose. Purpose has layers to it. One purpose gonna lead you to the next one, and then the next one, and so on and so on. So if you just find something to do, no matter, even if it's like that, like if you thinking like I only want to do what I'm very passionate about, you're gonna end up stuck, because there's levels of entry to what you want to do, and there's steps to getting to that point to where you can do it. So find something to do. From there, you can build skills that'll help you get to that next layer of purpose. From there, the next layer of purpose, and so on. And eventually you'll get to where you're going. But if you stay stagnant and you're only thinking about the end zone, you got to get first downs first, before you can score touchdowns. You can't score a touchdown every play. Every play ain't meant to score a touchdown. Sometimes you just need the first. Sometimes you just need 4 yards. So that's another one. Let's go to the next one. Okay. Self-love, self-care. You got to take care of yourself. You got to love yourself, because confidence is another thing. Confidence will help you with the prior one, as far as like keeping your emotions in check. When you know who you are, and when you are able to take a step away from the hustle and bustle of the world, that's when you're able to open up, and that's where you're able to prepare yourself. It's like practice, life is the real game, but you got to have times where you just practicing. You got to have times where you're just getting shots up. You got to have times where we just playing pig today. You know what I'm saying? We just playing 7. You're saying I was just killer man today. We're not going to go full out. We're going to take care of ourselves. We're going to enjoy it. And sometimes you get into those states where you depressed and you don't know why. It's because you're worrying about everybody else but yourself, and you're not taking the time to really cultivate the person that you are. The most important person in your life, in your family life, is you. And we often complain that nobody doing nothing for us, but what you're doing for yourself. So self-love, self-care. If you got like regimens that you do, if you go get a massage, go buy yourself something, get fly for no reason, you feel me? Take care of yourself, look good, feel good about yourself, you know what I'm saying? Take a long shower, come out, get some new cologne, get fresh. So self-care, self-love, you gotta love yourself, you gotta sit with yourself, and you have to cultivate that person from within, so that you're able to bring that person that you developed in practice to the world as a new person and as a new entity that is useful to the world, to that community that you a part of, and to your family and to your community, to the world. So that's another one. Number 5. This is the last one. You gotta stand on business, man. You gotta stand on business. You gotta have boundaries. I see a lot of people that they spend their days doing what other people want to do. They don't do what they want to do. They don't have no plans for themselves. They only follow. They go with the flow. We call them followers. You have to have boundaries. Certain times, it's time for you to take time for yourself. That's a lot of times why you don't get that self-care and that self-love, because you're so worried about following what somebody else doing that you aren't able to say no. You got to be able to say no. You got to be able to stand on something. Certain things that if somebody's doing, I don't want no parts of that. You have to have, like I said before, a governance, a law, a constitution, things that we don't do. We don't do these things. We do this, we do this, we do that. We don't do that. And don't compromise for nobody. Don't let nobody pull you out of what you're trying to do. Let's say you I'm fasting for 30 days, or I'm working out for 30 days, and somebody like, hey, let's go kick it. Not right now. Not right now. You gotta have boundaries. That's part of standing on business. If you don't stand for nothing, you're gonna fall for anything. Stand on business. Have boundaries. Be able to say no. And that's how we end up in these relationships as well, with somebody that you may not love or may not wasn't supposed to be with, because you so used to saying yeah all the time. You so used to going with the flow. Nah. That ain't gonna work. That ain't gonna work. That ain't gonna work. Be hard, you know? It's important to have boundaries and to have standards and to have morals and things like that. And you gotta stand on those morals. Don't let nobody take you out. Nobody say, oh, it's just a, you know what I'm saying? It's just some weed, or it's just it's only a little bit of tequila. Just take one shot. If that's not what you're doing, don't do it. Stand on business. Have boundaries and take care of that. And from that place of and people ain't gonna like you for that. That's another thing you gotta understand. People are not gonna like you. People are gonna talk about you. They gonna assume things. People gonna jump to conclusions. People gonna know stuff about you that you don't know about yourself. They're gonna make stuff up when you have boundaries and when you don't involve yourself in they shenanigans. But you gotta let that roll off your back. It ain't got nothing to do with you. Don't even tell me. I don't even want to hear what nobody got to say about me. I don't care. Keep it to yourself. Go ahead. Fine. Good publicity. Any publicity is good publicity. So go ahead. Speak about it. But I'm gonna stand on business and I'm gonna do what I'm doing, and because I'm trying to go to where I need to go. So that's all I got, man. 5 tips for y'all. Quick little episode. I wanted to drop this out, and I love y'all. Have a great day. Peace. We're gonna start doing a little bit more of this, but I'm out. We gone.